What's up, all you filthy degenerates? Welcome back to TBM Sports. Let's get into the Thursday college basketball action. I got 5 picks for you guys. Yesterday was Rock Chalk Jayhawk, and no, the Kansas Jayhawks were not in action, but outside of maybe Michigan State with that stunner, there was a lot of favorites that came home yesterday, and so all you moneyline parlay bettors out there, I know you guys are all kind of probably patting yourselves on the back. It was a very profitable day against the books yesterday across the board. A lot of good games, too. I mean, what a unbelievable game we saw with Kentucky down the stretch against Oklahoma. Probably one of the best games that we've witnessed all year with the storylines to consider. But let's get into the 5 picks. This is where we're going to have some very ugly games. So if you guys are looking for star power, please go search elsewhere. But this is why we bet college basketball. We'll get into the betting splits as well as some of the reasons why I'm targeting these games. So I got 5 picks for you guys. These are 5 picks that I will be betting. I am going to also sprinkle some love and put them all together and probably round robin these plays for this evening's contest, as well as we got some other moves that we're probably be making in the Discord a little bit later on. Big day for hockey as well, so make sure you check out Joey D's picks over there in the NHL world. But before we get into it, make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, join us here at TBM Sports, and please follow me on X, okay? I don't need to show it to you guys. If you guys have a Twitter account, X account, just type in the Bettor Mark and give that a follow, because I'm going to want to post a lot more over on that platform and videos and such. It's just more real time, so make sure you stay up to date with what's going on. Okay, and let's use OUTLIER to break all down the picks in the college basketball arena. And the first game that we're going to get into, Robert Morris and the IU PUI, or now they're calling it the IU Indy Jaguars or whatever. Very different kind of situation with that front, but unfortunate situation as well. If you guys have got that news alert, the bus, I guess, caught on fire, or I don't know if it crashed. I think everybody was safe, but there was an unfortunate incident where pretty much everything was burnt up on that bus for the Jaguars. So now 9-20 on the season, coming home, hosting Robert Morris. That's going to be a tough one to navigate in terms of morale, okay? It could be a motivator, or it could be a data point that will break a team down. And yes, a lot of you guys are probably sitting there saying, hey, you're betting on misfortune of college kids. It's not really that big of a deal. Nobody was safe, or nobody was injured, and you'd be remiss to not. Don't be naive. We do this all the time, and quite frankly, the odds makers are doing that. In my opinion, placing this number at 6.5. My number for Robert Morris would be a little bit lower. But this is something where I still think this one gets severe blowout potential. Couple that with what that narrative was that I just explained to you guys a little bit earlier. If you want to look at kind of the head-to-head and what actually went down, this was kind of a crazy outcome, 106-53. So Robert Morris, for my money, is on a hot streak. I actually did not even take them off of my screen because they were already there from my prior bet. So I am going to kind of show you guys at the end what we're going to be working with here, and that's kind of where we're going to end up getting into kind of what's going on with the final plays. So that's where I'm going to be at. Robert Morris laying the 6.5 points. Also backed up by some of the betting splits, 81% of the handle on Robert Morris and the Colonials. Okay, so stay hot, Robert Morris, RMU for the win. Okay, so let's get into the next game. This is where we're going to go down the odds board a little bit to 7 o'clock, and that is where we're going to look for Chattanooga, and we'll talk about the matchup that we have going on there against UNC Greensboro, taking on the Spartans. Now this is one where you could see some sharp movement in terms of Chattanooga money line and the and the side of UNCG, but please ignore that because it is early in the day. It's not going to be a heavily bet game, so sometimes these betting splits don't really tell the whole story. For me, guys, though, taking this game is going to be simply a play on the lovely fact that when we look at Chattanooga, they are absolutely tearing it up on the road, and I think this is where we get some value. 21-8 going against UNC Greensboro on the road, 19-10. I don't really see it from a numbers perspective. I understand the plus 1.5. I understand the coin flip, but we're going to follow the money here as we see a sharp move towards Chattanooga, where quite frankly, I think that even though they're on the road, this is one where I think based on kind of some past performances of UNC Greensboro, we could see an egg being laid, and I think this number's wrong. Chattanooga should be a heavier favorite on the road playing UNCG. Okay, so give me Chattanooga. We're going to take them straight up money line, plus 110, get into that positive territory. We're going to disregard that point, albeit, though, the way that these college basketball odds makers have been placing numbers, totals, just for example, last night cost me almost $3,500 with a 140 versus a 139.5. So they got them right on the money. It's something that's unparalleled, I think, than in college basketball handicapping. That's either right on the money, where it's almost creepy, or it's going to be completely off. And that's what we want to find. We want to find those completely off games that can give us that edge, where that we want those no-sweat bets, okay? That's kind of what we're striving for here on the channel. Game to touch on, though, I do want to talk about Detroit and Green Bay. Green Bay, 3-26 on the season. Been playing pretty trending in the positive direction. However, I do think that there is some value. Detroit, if you want to get into it, on a plus 146 money line. That was a lot higher when I first saw it, so I will not be betting this, but I would not mind taking a stab over there with the Detroit Mercy Titans. Plus 3.5. That is just kind of a lean for me in that spot. Okay. Also, Chicago State. That's one of the games that did jump off at the page at me. 4-25 on the season, 4-10 in conference. There's pretty much no shot in hell that Chicago State competes in this game. I just don't feel as comfortable laying that 6.5 with Mercyhurst. However, I do believe that Mercyhurst will be a double-digit victory. So another lean would be taking Mercyhurst going against Chicago State, an abysmal Chicago State Cougars team, okay? Another game that we do have an official play on, and this one's going to come as a surprise for some people, okay? And this is where we're going to look into the Wagner Seahawks, okay? Winning 2 straight, going on the road once more. LIU, they are 14-15 on the season. And now the one thing you want to know about what they have going on, okay? Wagner has I believe another game to play, but as we look into kind of what we're having within Long Island, I think this is something where the Wagner Seahawks are going to take care of business here. Personally, if we want to look at some of the numbers that make me feel that way, and it's going to be something where you have to look into possibly even the under. Wagner's a top 25 scoring defense, okay? So I do think that we're going to get a low-scoring affair in this matchup. Also, we looked at kind of what LIU looks to do against top 25 defenses. Well, they have officially covered the spread 4 of their last 5 games. And I do like Wagner quite a bit. Plus 5 is kind of where I'm going to be at. I know the numbers are all backing up, taking LIU to cover the spread, keep the trend going. I just think this is a sharper play, taking Wagner plus 5 on the road if you can find it. If it gets down to 4, I don't like it as much, but I don't think that there's any kind of chance that we do see a high-scoring affair, personally. I think this one will be a little bit lower, closer to the vest. Wagner and what they look to do defensively, rebounding, those numbers are there, and those are numbers to win on the road. So as long as we don't get a dud shooting from the Seahawks, I think this is something where their defense and 5 points, albeit on the road, is enough to get this one done. So that's kind of where I'm at, taking Wagner plus 5 on the road as they look to get closer to a conference tournament berth and all that good stuff down the road. Okay, so Wagner plus 5, all right? Last one that we are going to talk about, we actually have two bets before we get out of here. The next bet that we are going to be taking is within the UAB game. I'm going to find this one here. This is a game that I'm just betting on the fact that I think this one's going to get a little bit crazy. I think we get at least a possible 80 performance from one of the sides here. And this is one of my favorite bets, taking the 154. You could watch this number shrink. If you can find if you want to wait, you might be able to find 153.5. It is a big number, okay? It is a big number going against Wichita State. Wichita is traditionally kind of an under team across the board. UAB, not so much. And on the road, they do look to cover the total a lot more, getting out with tempo, running. I think this is where the Blazers here get this one done on their end mainly. And then if we get the Wichita State performance that will lead us into possibly, 80 points by them. We're going to cover this number with ease as long as we get up there. And you can see kind of where we're at within some of the totals. You got essentially going over 144.5 last time out for. Sorry, that was the wrong game. You had Wichita State going over 145. Going against Tulane last time out. FAU, it was 143, 163 going against Memphis, which is more similar to what UAB looks to bring to the table, 145 South Florida. But UAB, albeit, let's look at Temple. Temple would be the only outlier, winning 80-64. But if you take Rice on the road, ECU on the road, they do score a lot. Tend to score a little bit more points on the road. So I'm going to take a stab at the Blazers here, going over. All right, and I don't always follow the betting trends. Right now we're seeing 84% of the handle, so a convincing amount of money on the over. But it's kind of weird because we did see that number drop a touch. However, I still like 154.5. That's going to be the number that I bet. So we're going to ride with that, and I look for them to get this one done as they take on the Shockers on the road, and that will be a 9 o'clock tip-off, okay? And then the last game on the card, and this is going to be something where you look kind of into the late-night appearance from what we're going to be having. We do get a matchup between Montana State and Portland State. That's one that I do kind of have a lean on as well. If we look into this, guys, I think this is just a little bit way too many points for Portland State. I would actually go with some plus money here, kind of in a long shot. If you're looking for a plus money price, Montana State on the money line would be something that I would shoot just for some plus money, but I'm not fully on board with that pick. So they're not making an official play, but the last pick that we are going to get into, this will be in the form of North Carolina. And we have to find this one because it's one of those A&Ts. Okay, so North Carolina A&T going against Northeastern, taking on the Huskies on the road. NCAAT getting 10.5. Okay, and this is a number that, full disclosure, gave out this bet at 12.5. That's where we're going to take it. This number has been bet down to 10.5. I just think this was a wrong spot. It's probably a game where you guys, for your money, I'm just being honest with you, you watch these videos, you watch me talk for 15, 20 minutes, and you're probably asking yourself, who the hell is NCAA? That's a good question, but we bet numbers, not teams. So it doesn't really, quite frankly, matter. Also, if you look at kind of what they're able to do, it's just the fact that I don't see Northeastern historically going to be able to cover this number. So this is one of my favorite bets of the day, North Carolina A&T Aggies. If you can take an 11.5, great. 12.5 would be the pick earlier in the day, but this number did get to 11.5. So NC A&T plus 11.5 will be my official play. One of my favorite bets of the card. So I saved it for last. And then with that, guys, I'll leave you. So just a quick rundown of what we got going on. We'll go full screen for this, and then you guys can get on your way. But this is kind of where we're going to see Robert Morris minus 6.5, Chattanooga plus 110 on the money line, over 154.5 UAB, NC A&T plus 11.5 in Wagner. All right, we're going to go with them plus 5 to wrap up the 5-pack of best bets. We got to put one together, guys. I know it's not been the best college basketball season thus far. For those of you that have been rocking since 2024, and even if the gentleman's watching that put together the March Madness bracket with everybody on YouTube, the results speak for themselves. It's just kind of been a little bit of a rough stretch where we're just betting 50-50, okay? So that will break out. This is right now in my opinion, hardest time of the year to bet on college basketball because until we get that crossover where you get different conferences aligned within tournament play, right now it's just kind of that let's just get into the postseason. So you get some teams that are pulling up, you get some teams that are putting their foot down on the gas pedal, and you got some teams that are just quite frankly quitting. Senior night, for example, that was what cost me that $3,500 last night. A lot of timeouts. You get that final minute where if you got overs, you're really sweating it because they could just concede, and you get that pride clap where the crowd starts clapping and they just dribble out the clock. So gotta love it. Works both ways. I'm fully aware of that, but we are going to be back, and that's where we're looking to every day. I'm not going to say I'm 5-0 perfect every single day. I'm not giving 5 picks out every day, but this is something where I do strive to be profitable each and every day, and it's not been up to standards, but that's why you go over to the Discord. We bet all sports. Kind of taking it easy with the NBA this year, unless I got something to zero in on. But the hockey has been extremely profitable, and always, despite sometimes giving out bad picks on the channel, there will be zingers on the Discord. For example, just hit a 10-1 parlay last night. So always be sure to check that out, and I will become more active on that and on X. Just be sure to follow. Links down below as well for OUTLIER and the Discord. Okay, so that's what I got. Appreciate you guys tuning in. Good luck with your picks. I want to know in the comments, though, always, when you watch my videos, let me know what you'll be betting down below in the comments. Good luck, and we'll see you in the next video. Cheers.